Let us move to section 2 of the ITIL 4 Specialist High Velocity IT Certification Training Program. In this, we will first look at the ITIL 4 and the digital product lifecycle. As part of that, we will understand how the high velocity relates to the 4 dimensions of service management, how it relates to the ITIL service value system, the service value chain, and the digital product lifecycle. First, let us look at how high velocity IT relates to the 4 dimensions of service management, in particular organizations and people. IT will be integrated with business lines who are responsible for their products and services. Teams mean multifunctional product and service teams combining business and IT members. Centralized IT may be possible for some areas like email and non-centralized for others in the form of platform teams. The challenge is to manage a mix of dedicated and shared technology, small dynamic product systems interacting with large static backend systems. There will be no SLAs within the product and service oriented teams because both IT and business work together. Also, no agreements within the IT groups of one team, for example, the traditional operating level agreements within the IT teams. In summary, it means that every product or service team should be a closely integrated team working along with the business unit. And these teams should be dedicated and long-term oriented. Metrics and indicators will be aligned to business line objectives and not to aspects within IT. IT and non-IT members of a product and service team work in the same location to facilitate communication and contextual understanding. So what this all means is that it is highly recommended to have a focused team with all required competencies and skills related to a single product or a single service or a collection of products and services, rather than having different teams supporting a product, developing a product. This picture here, which was looked at before also, summarizes how IT services and business units may combine or remain separate. In the first case at the top, we have the business, every business unit depends on its partnering IT service. At the bottom, we have the other extreme, a better way of operating where business and IT is a single combined team. In between, we have the centralized service provider, wherein the IT as a service provider provides several services to several business units. Or we have IT as a shared service integrator, where the service integrator combines the various services being offered from other service providers and presents them to the various business units. So at the top, we have the more traditional way of working, and also the centralized service provider, the more traditional way of working, and the remaining two at the bottom are the more emerged ways of working. Therefore, the first point on the left here, IT integrated with business lines who are responsible for their product and services is a good combination. That's the one we see at the bottom here, integrated IT. Whereas we may still require the centralized IT as seen at the top here, or this one here, the second one, for specific platforms and services like email, etc. Information and technology. How does it connect with the high velocity IT? The higher demands on information and technology that digitally enable the organization and support the IT practices. Information is a valuable resource. IT should be aware of what data they have and how it could be better used. AI and machine learning growth will need good information and knowledge. This therefore relates to the tooling to produce the product and service. For example, automated deployment pipeline. Proper creation and use of information in real time is necessary, like monitoring tools, collaboration tools, and chatbots. Duplication of data should be avoided. Further, It is important to understand the flow of information or how work gets done using business analysis, and then use it based on the information needs, meaning business information management. There should be a generative culture, meaning free flow of information due to high trust, high cooperation, risk sharing, innovation, and learning from failures. System integration and using a common visible identifier prevents or links different sources of truth or duplication of data. Let us now see how the partners and suppliers dimension relates to high velocity IT. Usually the partners are for the cloud providers. These are usually high quality and affordable, offered as utilities with fixed terms and conditions. Customer has little or no influence on the provider. It is important to analyze dependencies and contract with the proper risk sharing, service level agreements, secondary providers, contingency plans, and workarounds. It is beneficial to have external provider work in a way similar to consumer. Whole value stream outsourcing or at least contracting functional staff is better than functional outsourcing. What that means is it is not about outsourcing specific tasks, functions, or activities, but entire the value stream. For example, the value stream to develop a new service, the value stream to support a new service, etc. Let us now see how the value streams and processes dimension connects with high velocity IT. It is better to create unique value stream for each product and service. Though less efficient than a single one for all products and services, it has better cost benefit, the single value streams. But tools and best practices could be shared across all value streams. Some standardization should still be done even with unique value streams for scalability, so that one value stream can be reused in another value stream with slight modifications. Processes detail the steps of a value stream and is a sequence of interrelated activities transforming inputs to outputs. Procedures and work instructions can provide even more detail. Processes being predefined work well for predictable situations. However, a case-based approach is better for unpredictable ones, as is mostly the case in HVIT, as judgment can be applied to experiment and or select activities from a pattern of activities that might work.